Hi, this is Debbie and welcome to Book and Bujo. Today we are setting up my July bullet journal. So we are saying goodbye to my beautiful Raven bullet journal. It has served me well. And we will say hello to my new bullet journal for the last half of 2023. So I'm very excited getting into this one. And I will leave up in the cards the video of me setting up the first part of it and moving in my bookmarks and everything. But for now, we are going into my July setup. So let's see first how I did for June, which was the Strawberry Moon. And we will be continuing with the Moon series in my second bullet journal as well. So we had the Strawberry Moon. We still have a couple days left of June. Now, red's not my favorite color to use for journaling, but it was a lot of fun doing the strawberries and going back and forth between the red and the green for the strawberries and its leaves. Did fairly well with keeping up with some of my habits, although I didn't always do them very well. I've been staying up way too late at night. But that's okay, and I kind of slacked off on my cleaning a little bit more again this month. But we have all of my weeklies. And we have one last month to go. I do like my little sparkly strawberry moon there. So now let's move into, I'm going to call her Greta. It just sounds right. So Greta will be moving in. We have our startups here. And now we move into July. So let's get started with setting up my July bullet journal. So grab some water or beverage of choice, maybe a little snack, and let's get started. July is known as many different types of moons. The most known is the buck moon, as this is the time when bucks' antlers are in full growth mode. Other names are the salmon moon, mead moon, which is one of my favorites as I happen to love mead, the raspberry, as well as the berry moon, claiming moon, which is most likely from an early legal system, and then the wort moon, which is also known as healing herbs moon, and the thunder moon, which I was very excited about. I really love thunder, so the thunder moon really calls to me. The only issue is, how do you draw a sound? When I looked it up, there are just images of lightning, and since the lightning moon is coming up later in 2023, I decided not to go with that one, although I did add it to my monthly calendar page. So I pretty much kind of took a sampling of each of the different names and did a different type of moon on each page throughout my bullet journal. The quote I chose for my quote page is from William Shakespeare. "It is not in the stars to hold our destiny, but in ourselves." And then my verse of the month for July is from Lamentations, chapter 3, verses 22 and 23. "The steadfast love of the Lord never ceases. His mercies never come to an end. They are new every morning. Great is your faithfulness." For my monthly calendar page, I did go with an icon of lightning for the thunder moon to represent that. I am also continuing to put my intentions into my monthly calendar instead of the first week of my weeklies. So I'm adding July will be, and then I will choose my word for the month. I will add my priorities, something I may want to let go of for the month, and then also putting in my verse of the month as well. And then I put some examples of what the thunder moon means. And some of the things I found were said to make a joyful noise, and it is a granting moon, time to let loose. The thunder moon brings clarity and vibrancy, rejuvenation and cleansing, and to drink up inspiration. And then for the monthly calendar, each day of the month, I wanted to do a circle to represent the different phases of the moon, and I had originally just planned on doing the first and last quarter and then kind of the new moon, full moon, and a couple little crescents here and there. And then I ended up going overboard and I did the whole calendar, so each day. But I started out coloring anything that would have been white on the moon, basically, and I think I ended up coloring the parts that would have been black on the moon originally, so not all of the days are quite correct for the phases of the moon at that time of the month. But it was a work in progress, and I have learned my lesson to make sure I always have up a picture of the moon phases for that month for a reference. For my gratitude page, I decided to combine the Wryt Moon and the Herb Moon because they're both basically about herbs and healing herbs, and so I added those to my gratitude page as a nice, calming, and peaceful moon. For my Devos and TBR page, as well as my exercise spreads, I decided to go with the Raspberry Moon because yum, super fun. And I had just done the Strawberry Moon, so I didn't want to do just a plain berry moon, so I chose the Raspberry Moon. And this is where I will keep track of the different devotionals that I will do for in the morning and in the evening, as well as the books that I read and the exercises that I do and whether or not I get to my meditation time. And the exercise that I will be doing this month is the 30-day challenge from April with Yoga with Cassandra. And you can check out her channel on YouTube, and I will leave a link for that below. For my habit page, I am using my Helix Circle Maker again to do another circle habit tracker, and I will be tracking as normal days that I work to make sure I'm not working every day, and that also I'm working most days, keep myself accountable, learning, so whether that be a class I take, a nonfiction book that I'm reading, something like that. Making sure I'm going to bed by 9:30 because I do like to get up between 5:30 in the morning. If I had any allergic reactions, because I have food allergies and food sensitivities, and then my anxiety levels for each day. I'm also tracking hair and face masks, journaling in the morning, if I'm doing my hand letter practice, vocal warm-ups, dry brushing, watercolors, or some kind of creative time. And then on the other side is more of my cleaning tracker, which I realized I did not include a header for that, but that is my cleaning tracker. And so tracking, making sure I'm doing the dishes every day, washing my dog's food bowl every day, doing the laundry, cleaning the couch, changing the sheets, cleaning the living room, all of those normal things, and then any house projects we may have. So I'm trying to work on cleaning up and refinishing the Adirondack chairs that we have outside, and I did start sanding the footstool and have that all pulled apart, and I will have a vlog for you on that coming up hopefully in the next few weeks. But I still need to stain that and then put it back together, and then if all goes well, then I will start on the chairs. We also need to pick out some flooring to replace some of the older carpet that we have, and then doing some painting and stenciling on a piece of molding in our bathroom to finish that off. And then here I represented the Mead Moon with a moon and a beautiful bee and, of course, the name. Now for my weeklies. So for my first week, I am just doing a page for Saturday and Sunday, which is the first 2 days of July, because we have a couple of projects, but I also include on there any favorites that I have for the month. So if I have a favorite book, a favorite song, a favorite podcast or TV series or movie or something, maybe a restaurant we went to, I will include that there as well. And then any events that will be taking place in the month or two ahead. And then I also have Dutch doors again. I am really liking the Dutch doors with having my weather tracker up at the top or at the side somewhere on the page. And here I am mainly doing the herb moon again with the different leaves and things. And then I also found this wonderful moon tea recipe that I found on Witchy Goodness, which was the herbal moon goddess. And it sounds delicious except for the hibiscus. I am not a fan of hibiscus or anything that turns my tea red, but otherwise it sounds intriguing. For the stickers, I mainly used a couple of different subscription box stickers that I got from Archer and Olive subscription boxes. And then I started using my moon stickers again. I was so glad I got those in, and I hadn't been using them, but I finally got them out again to use for these. So do you prefer to draw in your journal, or do you prefer to use stamps or stickers, or a combination? I love to draw and do watercolor. I am not amazing at it, but I still enjoy it even when it comes out kind of meh. It's still fun and relaxing, so I always call it a win. But I also enjoy, especially for making things a little faster, especially if I'm running behind like this month. So I used a lot of stickers and didn't do a lot of drawing. I do also like if I have something a little more complicated that I want to draw, I will sometimes just photocopy something and then do the whole rub the pencil on the back of it and then tape it down and trace over the front of it and then color it in from there. So I do like doing that as well if it's something that's a little more complicated that I want to come out really pretty. I've really been enjoying using the Sakura Jelly Rolls lately in my bullet journal spreads. They work great in the blackout journals, but I've been using them quite a bit in my white-paged bullet journals as well. And of course my trusty Helix Circle Maker and my Staedtler Circle Stencil, which come in really handy. And then my metallic markers have been really nice, and I've actually really liked the Aqua Noir. I may have to do a full review on those because those have been really nice. The only downside I've seen so far to them is just the shape of the marker itself is sometimes a little hard to hold and write neatly with, but otherwise it works great. And I had forgotten that I have the Sarasa Clip gel pens and in the vintage colors, and so I pulled those out for this spread because the colors are so beautiful and I love how they write. They come out nice and vibrant and beautiful on the page. And then I also have the brown mild liner that I used in a few of the spreads. And of course, my trusty Archer and Olive notebook Greta that I've been using for the second half of the year. And now for a final flip through. So do you have a favorite moon? So far, I'm very excited about the Thunder Moon, and I really loved the Wolf Moon. That was from January. I also really like the Herb or Wryt Moon, so the Healing Herbs Moon. And if you like my moon series bullet journal themes, then please make sure you like and subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any other videos from me in the upcoming series. And leave a comment below. And if you're not sure what to say, just leave a little moon emoji or some flowers.